Okay, guys. Hey, welcome to Conneaut today. Conneaut today, and I have a special guest, uh, Tim Kraus from the Conneaut Youth Center, and their whole theme is just flourishing. I mean, what a huge opportunity. I mean, if you're looking as an adult to get into a group of people that are actually making something happen and kind of on a positive note, because and I can't think of anybody better to actually lead that on than Tim Kraus. Tim, welcome to the show.
David, thank you for the invitation to be on.
Man, it's such an honor to actually be talking with you, and I've been wanting to get somebody on with Youth Center for a little while now, and you just got done wrapping up your reverse raffle. Tell us a little bit about it.
You certainly did. Well, before I do that, I just want to say we go back a long way, don't we, David?
Oh, we sure do.
We used to be next door neighbors on Buffalo Street.
You knew when I was just a little kid running the streets.
That's exactly right. And you knew my kids when they were very little as well.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
It really was a good neighborhood. We've been reminiscing about that
We
lately. The kids were
we
both up.
definitely did. We definitely did make Conneaut our home, didn't we?
That's right. That's right.
You know?
Yes, you know, we are in fundraising phase, and we will always be in that.
Mhm.
Uh, we made a commitment to open a Conneaut Youth Center, to hire a director, so that we'd have an experienced and trained staff person who can both develop programming and make things happen, recruit volunteers and supervise them, and just keep it going. We'll talk about Bridget in a few moments, but we found the perfect person. And so this was our first big fundraiser just a couple of weeks ago. It was a reverse raffle, and New Leaf Event Center generously offered the use of their facility and helped us in every way they could. And so many other people in the community did.
Wow.
And as we talked about before we started recording, uh, you know, clubs do reverse raffles and are very successful in raising funds to support their good work in the community. And so the idea of having one came up, but then somebody said, yes, but every one of those reverse raffles that I know of, they serve beer. And people have an expectation of that. And we said, we can't do that. This is the Conneaut Youth Center. We don't want to give a mixed message to these kids. Some of them are going to be helping us. And so what do we do? On the top of that, even though this is not a religious organization, we are we are supported by the churches in town, and the work we're doing is is the work to show God's love to these young people. So how can we do this? So we decided we were going to have a reverse raffle without beer.
Wow.
we'd have we'd have good food, we'd have lots of fun, and on top of that, we decided it would be for all ages. So we made a family fun day out of it. And the adults were inside. They had dinner, they had the reverse raffle and Chinese auction and everything that goes along with that. Um, and outside, we had everything um, from a inflatable bounce house to cornhole games and face painting. We had other kinds of games. We even had a rock climbing wall uh, for the young people to take part in. And we also had drift trikes available, which were extremely popular.
Wow.
So so the kids had a great time. We had food for them, had hot dogs and fixings for them, and then we had a pasta dinner inside for the adults. And I thought it went over very well. We're still tomorrow. I will get probably will get the financial numbers on what we did, but we expect it to be a successful event, and will become the first of a yearly one.
Oh, that's fantastic. So many people to actually mention when it comes to actually running a facility like this? I mean, of course, you're the president. Maybe you want to mention a couple of those people.
I surely do. The Our board consists of Caleb Friend. Caleb is from the Rock Church, and he has loads of experience with youth ministry. Great deal of wisdom. Donna Martinelli is a professional photographer. She's our treasurer. Ryan Neville is the Northeast Ohio director for the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and he is our secretary right now, and a very big help in getting this going. Nicole May is a newly acquired board member, as is Dan Spring, and we're really excited to have both of those on board. Keith Schreiber, the owner of the Dairy Queen, is on our board, as well as Angelina Vasquez. Um, Angelina works for Judge Iorochi, and many of you know Angelina because she was a server at Breakwall Barbecue. So you might see her around town doing that work on the side as well.
Okay.
Ann Wiley is on our board. Ann has an insurance business and has been known for decades in this community as the go-to person to help people negotiate through Medicare and supplemental insurance. And she's given of her time in a voluntary way for many years. She came back from Florida one winter with a vision. She had encountered a youth center, and they had a location, they had a director, and they were doing good work in the community. And she said, we need that in Conneaut. And so she tirelessly talked to people, twisted arms, talked it up, got excited about it, and got us excited. And they asked me to serve as chairman to get started, and I said, I will do this for a year. Well, January was the end of that year, and I'm still doing it. I am sold out on the idea and on the project, and it's working. So I'm willing to keep going.
Yeah, I heard of I've heard of the youth center actually coming on, and I just love their. Let's see if I bring it up here. I
Yeah,
love
it's on my phone.
their
Go ahead.
heading on there because you go to their Facebook page and they got Conneaut Youth Center promoting positive learning and mentorship. That that states that's got to be the mission statement right there.
Yes, exactly,
You know,
exactly.
besides
And
having
that's so exciting because we're during the school year, we're an after school program, and it's a place for kids to come instead of hanging out in the community or even hanging out at the library. And it's a place where they can come, and we always have activities for them. Uh, our facility is full of various kinds of games, from video games to air hockey and just you name it, and we've got it. But also we have opportunities. Usually every week we have a program, and so there's an emphasis on something. And we also have tutoring available, which has become very popular. I'll tell you, especially at the end of the school year, it was when some of the young people were saying, "I'm falling behind, and I'm not sure I'm going to be able to graduate to the next year or to graduate from high school. Can you help me?" And so we've got some very capable people to help tutor, and we're expanding that program. It has really gotten traction with the young people. Um, so Bridget Rand is our director. We put out a search for someone to be a director, and got some resumes in, studied those, had some excellent possibilities. But I must say that when we interviewed Bridget, it was clear that this was the time in her life to do this work, and that even though when she put her application in, she wasn't terribly interested in it. But as we began talking, she started seeing that this is what God was directing her to do, and we became convinced of that as well. She is um, she is both well trained in ministry work in her church, She has been a volunteer for the Fellowship of Christian Athletes for a number of years. Um, she has corporate experience. She is working in human resources. She's very well organized, and she is a super mom. And she loves every one of these young people with all of her heart. She is hooked on them. She's hooked on this work. So we're excited to have her.
I've had a couple discussions with her about volunteering at the center, and every time I do talk to her, man, she's just so over the top with the center. So I just like, man, to have a person that just loves what she does,
Yeah,
it's
you
just
can see
truly
she does.
tremendous.
Because she's full of good ideas and follow through. Um, yeah, she's definitely a gem.
Okay. So I mean, so what are the plans moving forward?
Well, first of all, this summer we did 2 weeks of summer camp, day camp, and each day had a different activity. Um, and that went over so well that that is something that we'll be repeating. As school resumes in the fall, we will be open as we were last year to start with on Tuesdays after school, and we're looking toward expanding it to 2 days. I believe we're looking at Mondays and Tuesdays. Um, our long-term vision is to be open 5 days a week. And as we have more volunteers and we have a more mature program and funding, we'll be able to do that. And one of the things that has happened is that uh, Bridget was shown an opportunity to register with a charitable organization that provides free tickets to nonprofits. And so we've taken the kids to an Erie Seawolves game and to a Cavs game. Um, and there will be many more opportunities like that.
And some of these kids probably would never have the opportunity to do that.
That's exactly right. Yeah, it opens new horizons to them.
Absolutely.
And by the way, here's what we found. Uh, we found an interesting combination of young people have taken advantage of the youth center. Some of the kids come from really solid families, and they come and they enjoyed spending time with their friends, and it's a recreational thing as well as they can get tutoring and stuff. Um, some of the kids, the parents are really busy, and many of them are working full-time jobs, and so after school, there's nobody at home, so they can come and hang out with us, and we feed them. We feed all the kids uh, every day that we're open, and some of the kids come from less stable families, and they need a little more attention, and so we are pleased to partner with those families and be a welcoming place for young people. So whatever their background is, they are welcome. They are loved.
Now, is this for all age groups also?
It is middle school and high school students.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. And so normally the center's open on what days?
It's in the summertime. It's uh, it's open on Mondays and Tuesdays,
Okay.
and it's 10 o'clock in the morning until 3 o'clock in the afternoon in the summer.
Okay.
It's open after school, which starts about 2:30 is when the kids start getting there until 6 o'clock during the school year.
Okay, so it's open later. It's
Yeah.
open till 6 when?
During the school year.
During the school year. Okay. And it's still the same 2 days, right? Monday and
Correct.
okay.
Correct.
All right. That's I mean, but you said that the main goal is to get it open 5 days a week.
That's right.
All right.
That's
Now,
right.
would that include part of the weekends or just Monday through Friday?
That's a possibility in the future. As I say, as we build this program and we expand our staff, it opens up more possibilities. What we're trying to do is to do a good job with the resources we have now. And and by the way, one of the other aspects of this is we have partnered at this point with the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. And so what they provide for us is a mechanism of doing background checks. They have a stellar reputation regarding young people's safety. And so everyone who works as a volunteer has to have a background check, be certified. They also provide some back office services for us, for our director. Bridget has had training through Fellowship of Christian Athletes, excellent training, and we run our payroll through them. So it's been a good partnership, and our goals are similar, and it ends up being kind of an extension of the Fellowship of Christian Athlete huddles in the high school and middle school.
Okay.
So that's where we are now.
Okay.
And we will follow a similar pattern into the future as this continues to grow and develop.
So I'm wondering, how soon before you outgrow your space that you're in?
Yeah, well, already.
Already?
We are really grateful to have this space. The location is great. The facility is good and solid. And the owners made us a very fair deal on the rent. As you may know, that we were under the good graces of the D-Day committee. We were using a small room at the D-Day building, the old First Methodist building, and then this opportunity came around to us. So we moved into it, and it's provided much more opportunity for us. But we would like to have a facility that is large enough that we can have a gym in it. We can have for playing basketball and dodgeball and soccer and stuff like that. We would like to have a facility that we can have our fundraising at the facility. And we believe that we're going to be able to accomplish that in the future. But for the time being, our focus is developing a funding base and on developing our programming where we are. And we believe that something will happen in the future. We keep our eyes open, and many of us keep praying about this. In fact, I was just telling somebody recently that my vision is that somebody's going to come forward someplace along the way and say, you know what? I own this building, and I'm willing to donate it to the Conneaut Youth Center. We are an IRS-approved 501c3 nonprofit organization. So any donations to us are tax deductible. But I believe somebody will do that, or we'll be able to work out some kind of a combination deal. And then we can raise funding for remodeling it and creating it into the, a space that will fulfill our purpose.
I could actually see that happening right here in Conneaut.
I can too. This community is full of wonderful, generous people, and we have received nothing but positive encouragement on this and
Right.
generous donations. So on behalf of the board, our commitment is to do everything with integrity and transparency so that the trust that's placed in us will be merited. And so that as we move into the future, we'll continue that reputation, and people will want to partner with us.
So now the kids, when they actually say you have a new kid that wants to come into the youth center, and of course you're just going to welcome them in. But is there like a sign up? Is there do they pay anything, or is it completely free to the kids? Or
That's a great question. It is completely free to the young people. We do ask them to register, so we have a little bit of information about them and some contact information. But apart from that, there is absolutely no charge and no strings attached. So it is the most welcoming situation a young person can be in a safe, supervised situation. In fact, we invite parents to stop by and check us out. We ask that we're not overwhelmed with parents. So if just one parent wants to sit in um, on one of our days, we'd love to have them.
Mhm.
We don't want there to be any secrets or anything hidden. And I think that anybody will find that, oh, this is a great place for my child.
Right, right. Um, yeah, I'm just watching it grow over the last year is just completely amazing to me. And I don't know who takes care of the Facebook page, but it's always current with fresh pictures. It doesn't matter if they're at a baseball game or if they're just playing in the rec room or what. They got fresh pictures on their Facebook page showing the excitement. The kids are all enthused and they're engaging.
Exactly. As you noticed, they went kayaking on Conneaut Creek.
Yeah.
They they've done some community scavenge hunts, and one day they did a museum tour. In fact, Bridget called me and said, "Tim, one of the days of this week's summer camp, the activity was just canceled. And do you have any contacts with the Conneaut Historical Society?" And I said, "I sure do." So I texted her a phone number. She texted me back 5 minutes later and said, "We've got it all set up." And so they went on a tour of the Octagon House, of the Historical Society Museum, and then they walked across the tracks and visited the Railroad Museum. And the kids absolutely loved it. I was so pleased to know they wanted to learn about Conneaut history, and they had so much fun.
Well, I was seeing some of those pictures of the D-Day Museum, and I said, "Man, that looks really cool. I think I want to go."
Yeah. Then another day they went to the D-Day Museum. Wasn't that great?
Yeah.
They really got into it, and oh, I can't tell you, it warms my heart to see them
Yeah.
learning these things and getting a feel of what it was like back then, and what those men and women went through for our freedom. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good stuff. We're really trying to teach good values. On that theme, uh, we had some veterans come in and teach flag etiquette,
Okay.
and we had a couple of our guys from our trail life group come in one day during the school year and teach first aid.
Okay.
So we're trying to teach some very practical things. Uh, just the other day, the young people got to practice their artistic skills, and I think we'll see more in the art area in the
I
future.
saw some pictures of that on the Facebook page. I mean, see, that's where I guess that's where I gather all my content from. Is I gather it from Facebook. I go to the page, I get information, and then I contacted people saying, "Hey, come on, let's talk about what you're doing."
Yes, and that's a great place to find it. In fact, I urge everybody to go to the Conneaut Youth Center Facebook page and uh, and like it so that you get the feed from it.
Yeah.
Bridget does a superb job keeping it updated, and I mean that's where I find out everything that's going on too, David. So we're equal in that.
I guess not everything's got to go through the president, right?
Exactly. In fact, you know what? I think that's when things run best. When
Oh,
you
yeah.
give people tasks and authority
Hmm.
and say, go for it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you've got people that are willing to step out on their own and do the things that are within the mission statement.
That's exactly
You know,
right. Exactly.
promoting positive learning. That's just it just says it all right there. I'm so happy that's actually on there.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, I think I left out mentorship. Yeah, mentorship, promoting positive learning and mentorship. But so I mean, is there anything that you want to discuss on what's coming up in the maybe near future? Something that's going to be happening before the holidays, or I mean, school's going to be
Okay.
starting here soon.
Right. Well, I can say um, this is still in the germinal state, but Bridget and Dan Spring and I met with our superintendent of schools, Lori Riley, to talk about the possibility of expanding our mentorship program or our tutoring program actually, and working more in cooperation with the schools. And there are some possibilities there that we're pursuing. I think we're going to see something come to fruition just past the first of the school year. Um, we want every young person to do well in life.
Mhm.
And we know that getting a good education is a big part of that. And,
Absolutely.
and, and, and we also know that if a young person is starting to fall behind, that's a frightening and discouraging thing. And very often it just makes them kind of throw up their hands in frustration and give up. And we want to be there to catch them and to help them and work with them. And so we've discovered that we have two or three people that are very, very good at tutoring. And they did a lot of tutoring last school year. And so we're going to expand that. You know, the vision was, in fact, Dan Spring started asking about this. Is there any way that we can do more of this? Maybe is there any possibility of getting resources from the schools and helping some of the kids in the schools here? And so, and we've been discovered that sometimes we've had some homeschool students that needed some help and guidance in some of the subjects. And so, um, I mean, I think that what's happening is we're discovering areas that when we first conceived of the Conneaut Youth Center, we didn't even know those were going to be needs. But as we discover needs, we're meeting those needs. We've also partnered with the Cleveland Food Bank and become a certified site for breakfast and lunches. And so we're receiving those. We receive those every day of the day camp that we have, and we're
Okay.
receiving them now during the days that we have youth center open. So we have breakfast and lunch available for the kids.
Wow.
Yes. So we are one of the feeding
That
sites.
that is that is so unheard of. That I mean, because some kids don't get breakfast,
Right. Right.
you know, and
Right.
yeah, to actually have, and I still think that the center is the strongest when it has all these people that are actually all these different entities that are actually involved in the same cause.
You are right.
You know, it makes the center stronger.
That's right.
Yeah.
You know, uh, I have not mentioned all of the things we've done in the youth center and all the specialties we've brought in, but so far, a lot of resource people in the community have come forward and say, "Hey, you know, I could help with a program on this or this," and so we're looking for you. If you're watching this podcast, you know, get in touch with us. If you have a specialty you'd like to share with the young people, uh, Bridget coordinated with some of our local banks and financial people with financial expertise, and last school year put on a 4-week series on financial literacy. Uh, one week was about what it means to borrow money. Uh, another one was how to save. Another one was how to manage a checkbook. Practical things for
Yeah.
life.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
These are common knowledges that you would think they'd be teaching, but they're not.
yeah,
You know.
exactly.
So
I think we'll be able to in the future, um, for those interested, have a lesson on, you know, how to lubricate your bicycle chain and how to change a flat tire, how to change the oil in your car, how to check the fluids to make sure everything's topped up, um, how
nice.
to, how to generally maintain a car. And for our older students, I think that could be very helpful.
Yeah. Yeah. I almost want to go back in time where I wish this was actually when I was a kid.
Yeah,
Things I could have actually had help with. You know.
yeah. I tell you what, they're having fun, and I feel the same way. I said, boy, I wish it's been available when I was a kid.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
I was blessed to live in a neighborhood that was safe, and I had all my projects. I was always building something or designing something, and it kept me pretty busy. But I know I would have ridden my bicycle uptown to go to
Absolutely.
youth groups. Yep.
Absolutely. So I mean, with every organization out there, if they're you're growing and you're doing what is on the want list right now? What does the center need right now that would help in promoting a different service?
Okay. Well, I've kind of mentioned this already, but let me mention it again. When they asked me to serve as board chair, they say, Tim, your responsibility will be mostly to run the meeting and to raise funds. And I said, running the meetings, that's fine. I'm good with that. I hate fundraising. It's what I hate worse of anything else, asking for money.
Right.
I don't do it at church. You ask our folks, I never preach on giving. Every now and then I think, I should. And so maybe I'll make a mention of it.
Right. Right.
Um, and so, but you know what? I'm so excited about the Conneaut Youth Center that just about everybody I talk to, I ask for money. So here's what we need. We have some clubs and organizations in our community who are sending us a monthly check to give us sustaining support. And it means everything to us. We also have some that occasionally will give us a donation, and we're grateful to that, extremely so. We have a bunch of adults that have signed up to like a monthly subscription through the Fellowship of Christian Athletes
Wow.
to help fund Bridget's salary. And so you sign up and it automatically comes out. I want I want to urge our viewers to consider doing that. If you go to our Facebook page, you will find information about this, or you can send a message to us and we'll respond immediately to you and give you a link uh, where you can get into that. Or if you simply want to send a donation, you can send it to the Conneaut Youth Center. Um, and let's see, I believe we're box 314, post office box 314 in Conneaut. And we will acknowledge your donation and be very grateful for it. And if you're part of an organization, a club, or whatever, or a church, you might talk to the leaders and say, would you consider us giving a monthly donation to the Conneaut Youth Center? Um, we need to be fully funded so we can pursue all of the opportunities and we can give Bridget full reign to work full time. And I must say, we're not paying her yet for full time, but some weeks she puts more than full time in. I'm grateful for her, but we need to do what's right and take care of it.
Oh, absolutely.
So that is what we need.
So
And
if they
then
go to
we also need you to contact us and say, I want to help in any way I can. I'm willing to volunteer. Um, show me what I can do.
yeah. All right. Well, so there's so many different ways that you could actually give. They have a subscription program. Go to their Facebook page, look for that link, or get in touch with one of the board members, or if you know somebody that's actually involved with this. If you want to get involved, what a perfect opportunity. Anything else before we close out?
I think that's it. David, it's a pleasure to be able to spend some time with you.
No,
And
it's
thank you
fantastic catching
so
up with you also.
much.
All right. Uh, we appreciate you coming on. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Sounds good. Take care.
Yeah. All right, guys. Hey, that's it for us today. It was kind of a short show, but we covered a lot of different things. Again, the Conneaut Youth Center, the CYC. What a perfect organization. If you belong to an organization, get involved. If you don't belong to an organization, you want to get involved. Get involved. because it's a good group of people that are actually doing a lot of different things. Looks like they're really nicely organized right now, but I'm sure they have a whole lot more things that they want to do in the near future that could actually involve you. Just get involved. All right, guys. Hey, beautiful day in Conneaut, Ohio, and hey, keep it real and keep everything going. Have yourself a super great day. And again, thanks so much to Tim Kraus for coming on. We'll have him back probably on year 2 when he is on his second year as a president member. So all right, so that's it from me, Dave Jones. Conneaut today. We are out.